Hey guys, welcome to another episode of DeLuSioNaL's Arcade. So in this episode, we're actually going to take a look at my Outrun. We're actually going to button things up. We're going to put in the locks that I have on this machine over here. And we're going to switch things around, kind of clean this one up because there's a buyer coming tomorrow to kind of take a look at it. So we'll just button it up, literally change a couple things that we have on here. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so we're in front of my Outrun machine here. And there's an issue, I guess, with you can see right here that I guess they had a lock where they had screws in here and they kind of did it so that you can't break into the box. So I'm not going to bother with that right now. I'm going to fix that, I think, once I do this in a later episode. I still have to address all this because the T-molding right here is kind of all screwed up. And right over here, it's all messed up too, where a whole chunk is missing. This side piece does come off. So I got to take that off and kind of do some body work. I bought some stuff. I'll show it to you right over here. Let me grab it. So this is it. It's called Epoxy Sculpt. It's a modeling compound, and basically it's not supposed to smell as bad as, like, let's say Bondo, because I really don't want to have to bring this thing upstairs and outside just to do Bondo down there. It is a really heavy cabinet. So hopefully I can do this indoors. It says that it's non-flammable and stuff. So this thing, it's like modeling clay, basically. You basically create 2 equal parts of both, you mix them together, and you just kind of put it in there. I'll take all the T-molding off, and then we'll get that shaped. It's sandable, it's paintable, it sticks to wood, metal, whatever. So it's kind of like Bondo, except in clay form. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't smell as bad. I'll let you know. I bought 2 products. I bought this and another one. The other one hasn't arrived yet, but that's just something for the future. The pedal, as you know, on this one was really bent up. I straightened it out. Hammered it out. I still haven't put a wire brush to it yet. I still got to do that to get all this stuff off here. But it's in pretty decent shape. This one was missing the block down here. You could see this I'm getting rid of here. I have a guy, his name is Rob. He was kind enough to send me an actual, the replacement for this. So I have a brand new one of these. And in order to do that, I need to know, I made a new wood block, and the wood block is right over here. So on this one, by the way, they never put the pin in on most of them because they ended up jamming it up. So it works perfectly fine like that. Most Outruns I've seen don't have that pin in there. But anyway, this block right here, I built new ones. So I have a brand new one. I actually use this as a copy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. I'll set up the camera to do that on a tripod, and we'll just take it out. And it should be, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, this is really dirty. Underneath is really clean. So we'll be able to measure out with measuring tape exactly how far it is from the back and the side. That way we can actually document how far this block, I mean, they were all done by hand, these cabinets. So, they might be off by a little bit, but I want to try to get the exact match for this one. That way I can put it on the other cabinet once I replace everything. So I just want to get those documented on film here. And then I guess as far as this goes, these are the locks I'm going to be taking. They're all key to like here's my Rolling Thunder right here. It all works in there, opens it up. So this one actually has the same key. So I'm going to change these locks because I want to save these locks for my stuff since this is going to go away. I had thought about switching this coin door with the other one, but this one, somebody drilled a hole in here anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference. I still got to refinish the other ones no matter how you look at it. And this one does not have free play at the moment. I actually took it out of free play because it does have a credit button, because free play on the stock boards, as you can see here, you can see the credit. You have to put a credit in order to get free play, because if you don't, it'll sit in that other screen not having a track mode, and it's really kind of horrible for burning, and it's really not great looking. That's why I will put the enhanced ROMs on here. I'll do an episode on that as well. But in the meantime, this one has free play, and as you can see, it has a track mode built in. So it's pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to set up the tripod. We'll kind of get to measuring this first. We'll just take care of that and maybe just throw some simple green on there with a brush and kind of scrub it out. Okay, so I have a good angle set up here. So I'm not going to bother taking these bolts out on the bottom. A lot of times you find these are frozen in there, and I think these are frozen in there. I don't want to mess around with them. So I'm just going to take this. 1 and 2. Yep, and I suspect you can see right here that it's really dirty, so it kind of tells you where it is. So that's cool. So I'm going to take my measuring tape, 3/8. So 2 3/8 maybe? Okay. So 2 3/8, 2 and, yep, exactly 2 3/4 inch. So 2 3/8 by 2 3/4. Okay, and then I'm not gonna measure the other way, obviously going this way or down, because it doesn't make sense, because we're just kind of going from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this. I'm gonna grab a brush. It should kind of look like this, but I'm just gonna give it a quick clean just to help it out. I'll grab a brush. So let me go ahead and get that stuff and we'll be right back. All right, so we're at the same angle. I actually decided to go ahead and use the wire brush on a drill first just to get this out, because anything that falls down, I'm gonna give this a good cleaning underneath, and then all this crap falls on it. So this is gonna eventually go away. You know, this T-molding that's bad, and this will be filled in. I'm gonna ask the guy who's buying it if he wants me to do it, because he's gonna keep it here for a while, even though it's his machine. I'm gonna store it for him for a little bit, because he is a fellow YouTuber, so you know, he is a good guy, and I'm sure, like, you know, he lives nearby, so it's not a big deal. I told him I can keep it here for him nice and safe, and it's a temperature controlled environment. So let me go ahead and just get this polished out. All right, so for now, I'm just gonna kind of throw this in here. I'm gonna be pretty generous here. And I'm not gonna worry about spraying these. I'm actually gonna spray them now. It's not a big deal. But the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of get all the gunk off. If there's any in those pits there. So I'm just gonna take this brush. Yeah, that's making a big difference. I could tell already. This thing was pretty dirty. So I'm going left and right just to make suds and bubbles. But you really want to go with the grain here. Wow, that one's really stuck. There's like something stuck in there. Right here. It's like a big chunk of dirt. Could be a piece of gum or something. I'll have to see, but it'd be great if you can just remove this piece and hold it down. But I guess if I were outside, I'd probably hold it down. I'm not sure if there's MDF here or not. I'd have to check. You definitely don't want to get it wet if it's MDF. So ideally, you'd want to take this off over here and then remove this whole thing and then pull it out, and then you'll get into, like, you know, you won't have these things blocking you like what's happening to me right now. But again, this is just a quick and dirty, literally, way to get this all clean here. It's gonna be a little hard to get in the edges here because of the size of the brush, but we'll see if we can do it. And then we'll see what we can do to clean it up. Okay guys, so here's the after. I have the sock, like I said, and the rag. Came out pretty good. There are some spots, you know, that I couldn't get out. I don't know if this is a cigarette stain right here. It's kind of brown there. But anyway, compared to what it was, this is like night and day, as you guys saw. So that's good. Again, on mine, I'm gonna replace it, but on this one, I think it'll be fine. You know, What I did start doing though is, you can see like there's like dirt here. This won't, some of it will come off. Like I kind of went over it with Magic Eraser. I just spray it a little bit, tiny bit of simple green. You take Magic Eraser, which is this one here. A lot of times I'll save little pieces like this, just for little things like this. And I kind of just, I'm gonna go across first, and then I kind of go in circles just to get the little imperfections there out. And it brightens it up. It actually works really well. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I might actually, sometimes I like to, it'll take some of the blemishes and scratches out of the whole thing. So you just gotta be careful because sometimes if it's shiny, you can dull it. So I'm just going over it really quick and smoothly. If there's any problem areas, I'll kind of go over it. You can see there's like a little blemish there. I kind of got rid of that. Down here. And yeah, this thing doesn't look brand new, but it looks pretty close. Except for the little dings you see here. But it does a great job. Trying to get this little thing out here. Sometimes you can do it. Yep, that just came out. So it makes it look a lot better. I think it looks fine over there. Kind of going on the side here around the coin door. And to me that looks good enough. Let me try taking this out here. Okay. Now I'm just going to go over it again, the whole thing, and this time I'm going to use a paper towel. And I'll kind of get down here where you guys can see it. Yeah, that looks nice. I like it. Let me just get down here. And these I'm going to leave in there. I'll let him take it out. That's the lock bar that they put. There's one here and there's one on the top. And it looks like they removed the one on the top, but not on the bottom. So luckily, my cabinet does not have these lock bars here. So I kind of lucked out in that sense. I'm going to put some over here. Well, actually, no, that's part of the, if I do that, it's going to take the paint off. So, but you can see the rust is kind of peeking through. So in the long run, whoever's restoring this or getting it next, you're better off taking this whole thing out and then getting it down to bare metal and then spraying it with satin. I think this is satin. Yeah, it looks like a satin finish. So I do it with satin Rust-Oleum. That stuff will never come back. So, yep. But again, you know, this is a really quick little thing. I actually got a little simple green there. But it looks way better than it did when we first got it. So, you know, there still are some scratches. I can still see them. They're coming back. But you can't really do much about that. Unless you want to just redo the whole thing. Which I guess you could do. But instead of masking this off, I guess you could mask it off and then just paint this little section here. But since this has chips and everything, you might as well just get a new decal. They sell them. So whoever gets it next should definitely get some side art, do some Bondo work, and then get it done, and it'll be a nice cabinet. It is nice now, so. Okay, I almost forgot to put this thing back in with you guys. So I'm just gonna lift this, put the block back in. There's 2 pre-drilled holes. And then we'll get this in there. Excellent. And if you guys are curious, the blocks that I have that I made, let's see if I can grab them over here. I basically made these. I used that one as a template, and I used these 3. Right here, I cut them, painted them, and they came out great. They're not drilled or anything, and I put them with satin paint, and they're an exact match. So if you put them right next to each other, they're perfectly, you know, There may be a tiny bit wider, but other than that, I mean, they fit really well. So they work really great. They're the same exact height. Really, height is what matters and the angle. And these are all the same. And they came out really good. So I'm going to put one of these brand new ones on my other Outrun, which has none. And I used this as a template when I was cutting it, so it came out pretty good. Really happy with it. So, all right. So now what I'm going to do is we have this angle here. I just put that on there. We can kind of back it up, and I'm going to set up the camera to kind of get the coin doors there. Okay, so the thing I use for this, I actually use these right here. These are adjustable. You want to get ones that they can basically go down like this. It's an adjustable wrench, and you want it kind of wide like that so that you can grab that big nut that's on the inside. These are really cool. These are kind of, I can't remember where I got these, but they have an LED built in. Check that out. So they'll actually shine on whatever you're working on. So it's kind of neat. But let me go ahead and grab the key. I'm going to start with this one first. And I believe first thing you got to do is just take off this nut right here. Just want to make sure all the parts. So the thing you want to take off is this nut right here, and you want to grab that with, with it being wider like that. I usually just do this. You just give it a quick little twist. They're not really on there that tight. I don't go crazy putting them on. So. And wow, this one just not, usually it spins right off, but this one's just not cooperating. That always happens, right? When you go to shoot an episode, everything that goes wrong will. So that's it. I'm just gonna kind of put this here so I won't lose it. Okay. And then that's done. And then I'm gonna take the other one out. So I take this out. That key you see hanging there is for the back door. So that's actually a different key. Because back doors are a little different. Sometimes they're a little longer. The cam locks, so I try to keep those original if I can. I feel if you're doing any restoration to a game, you should kind of leave the back door alone. You can color match from the back door, usually the original paint, if it includes the back door. Some games are missing the back door. All right, so I'm just taking this out. All right, there we go. All right, so that's good to go. And let's go ahead and switch to the other Outrun so I can kind of just pop them on there. Okay, so I have a good angle here. I'm going to actually open this up. And I do have LEDs in here. I have the, I think these are amber ones, but they're really awesome and they look just like regular lights. You can't even tell. But I'm going to open these up here. And there is actually a technique to putting these things in. What I do is I like to face them all the same way so I can walk around the cabinet, and I don't have to worry. These are double bitted, so I don't like to have to go, is it this way? Is it the other way? So it's easier just to put it on the way you want to do it. So you can either put it in that way or you can put the lock in this way. But I like to keep them consistent all around my arcade. So what I do is I'm going to test it on another door. All right, so it looks like it goes in this way. And that's with this part down. So I'm going to keep the key like that. And put it in that way, and that's the way it's going to go in. So I'm just going to leave that in there, turn it, and then the way it is that when you can remove it, it's sideways, and when it's down, you can't remove the key. So I want to make sure that when it's this way, in this position where I can take it out, that's where you want the little piece of metal sticking out so it'll lock. So that's how you know which direction to put it on. So for now, I'm just going to stick this on. So quickly, all I'm doing is kind of screwing this thing in. All right, I'm going to give it a quick, make it nice and tight, not too much. You don't want to over tighten it. I mean, it's in your home. It's not going to, it's really for show and to keep the kids out. So so I'm not going to tighten it too much. And I also double check here. If it's a little crooked, sometimes it'll be crooked that way. I'll just move the whole thing so that the whole thing turns. And I just look at it to make sure it's nice and even. Yep, so that's perfect. That's perfect too. All right, so again, you want it to come out that way, so you want it to be locked that way. So it's really important that you put the key in, or just make sure it's facing the right way. And then it's probably better actually to take the key out so that it doesn't move. And now you just want to make sure that this is facing this way. So you want to face it that way. You want to kind of take this with the washer and everything, and it has like a lock washer on there. I'm actually threading it opposite left so I won't strip anything, and now I'm putting it in. Now it's in, I do it by hand. And now you just want to take this and tighten it. Perfect. So now see how that's locked? So now you can go in, and I know that, again, I go to my other machine, it's fine, then I go to this one, and it's good to go. So that's nice. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put it in, figure out which way is up. Okay, so that way it goes in. Because again, it goes in just fine like that. Because it's the worst. If you put them upside down, you'll end up going like this and then having to turn the key the other way. It's just a pain. It's better to keep them nice and uniform. So that's the proper way, and I can take the key out. Let me see if I can, there we go. So that's in the right way. And I'm gonna take the parts that I just took. I'm gonna take that. I always turn it left first to get in there. And then sometimes it doesn't always catch, or you got to turn it around. And all right, so that's fine. Trying to get in there so you can see. So there it is. It's nice and snug, but I'm going to do this too. Alright, and I can tell already it's a little crooked here. I'll stick my key in, and I'll just basically, as you turn it to loosen it, so let me try it this way. You loosen it, you kind of just turn the whole key with it. So that right there is perfect. Okay, so there's a little bit of denting going on here, you can see right here. So once I refinish the doors, I'm not going to do it now, I'm actually going to bang all those out, make it all perfect. Put some Bondo in here as well, and then have a nice smooth surface, sand it clean, and then I usually use hammered, and then, which is a little bit of a gray color. I do a few coats of hammered, and then I do a couple coats of satin black, and it looks beautiful after. It looks legit with the bumps and everything, and hides the imperfections, so it'll be fine. All right, so that's good. So I'm going to take the key out, pop this sucker back on. Actually, it goes this way. I don't know what I'm doing there. So again, you want to do it so it's locked. I put that in there. Nothing too crazy. And then you can stick this in and lock it, and it's good to go. Awesome. So I am missing some parts for this door. I didn't even realize. I have spare parts everywhere. I have these plastic pieces. These are actually made of plastic. But again, you know, I don't want to take the other door because the other door has a hole right here, and I don't want to, you know, deal with that when I was kind of parting both cabinets. So I chose this door. I mean, technically I can grab this from the other door, but I'm not going to do that. I have this part somewhere. If not, you can easily order these parts. This is called the HAP, or coin controls. It's actually not the HAP. It's coin controls over under door is what this is called. So these parts are readily available, and you know, everything else is working fine. So yeah. Okay, so I wanted to show you real quick that down here, you know, I have the brand new pieces. I actually measured from the other one, so that's where it's going to come. I think it's 2 3/8, I think it was, and this is 2 3/4. So I'm going to put it exactly where it's going to go, and then I'll just tap the holes and, you know, just drill the holes in there, and then put the screws in, and we should be good to go. But I'm not going to do that, so I'm not going to make any more holes. Looks like someone here tried to attempt it before me. But I'm going to take this off. This is going to be completely replaced, so I'm not even bothering washing it. And it does have those holes there, even though they'll be covered. Should be fine, but I think what I'm going to do is once I remove this, I'm going to Bondo to make it nice and smooth. I'll measure it exactly, put it where it's supposed to go, and then we'll kind of just put that in there like that, and it should be perfect. So, you know, again, I haven't polished this. It looks like this is like a sticker that somebody had on here, so I'm going to use the wire wheel. I think right now, what I'll do is so this thing won't flop around, I'm going to actually put the wire in, the screw in here. I don't know what happened to the other one. I put it somewhere. It's probably in my dish of, I have like a magnetic dish with everything in it. And this one's less rusty than the other one. But anyway, let me go ahead and just hit this with a wire brush while I'm at it. And then I'll kind of be right back here. All right, guys, so we're back. So this one isn't as bad. I'm just going to go straight with this brush here with that bit. I'm going to take these wood blocks out so they don't get messed up. All right, it's good enough. I can take this out. All right, so that looks good to me. Here's a better angle here. So they look way better than what they were. Again, I'm gonna do this at a later date. I have to refinish this whole thing. I gotta just redo all that. But I'm not prepared to do that right now. So again, this here, I didn't bother either because I have a brand new one that I have put down. All right, so I'm taking a look at this now, and I kind of changed my mind. I actually want to put this block on now. I already have all the equipment out. You can see kind of wobbles a little bit, and the reason why it does that is because there's like a bump here. So what I'm going to do, just for measurement's sake, I'm going to take a razor blade, and again, I don't care about this. I have a brand new one, so I'm going to basically just shave off that portion on top that got bumped. I don't recommend you guys do this at your home. But again, I do have replacement carpet or whatever you want to call it. So if I go to the edge, 3/4 would be right there. Right there. 3/8 would be actually 1, 2, 3. I can just see it better now. So it'll be right there. And then I'm going to actually center it up to, I think what's really important is this distance right here. So it looks like it's centered up pretty good. This kind of goes over, and then I just want to get this one. Two and 3/8, which is 1, 2, 3. So it has to go up a tiny bit. Right there. All right, so that's where I want to drill it. So I'm just going to put 2 brand new holes in there for now. Okay, so I'm back, and I did some research on the screws. This is the actual screw. I took it out again of the other Outrun. I'm not sure if this was original or not, but you do have to get one that not only can go on the front portion here, but can go on the other portion over here. And this only digs in a tiny bit. So they are recessed, by the way. I have a special bit that I'll actually countersink them a little bit, so they're like in the wood. So I picked these 2. I made sure they were steel. I don't want kind of, you can kind of use drywall screws, I guess, because you're only pressing down on it. But, you know, I wanted these nice long ones that'll fit, and they'll go through on the top portion too. You don't want to just drill into here, because if you do that, it'll just crack the wood in half. Plus make bumps on the bottom. But anyway, I did lift it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll remeasure. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-drill a hole through here, and then come back and put it back on top and re-drill it. into the actual cabinet. I'm not going to go all the way through. I'm just kind of making 2 quick holes. But let me see if I can countersink it now, if it's easier. So that's good. I'll take that. I'm going to go ahead and screw one of them in. It's probably better off using my drill. I'm just trying to get it in. Come on. It's fully charged, it's just not, it doesn't like it. And since I countersunk it, it's nice and neat. Let me just make it straight. All right, and now I can drill the other one without worrying. Just take everything out. Of course that's in the way. All right, and then what did I do with the screw? Here it is. So I'm actually going to change bits here, I think. Let's see if I have one here. No, maybe not. I'll have to use this small one. This would be a lot more powerful here. Oh, and I did it too much. Don't do that at home, folks. Crap. What a pain in my butt. Well, I have the 2 holes set. But what stinks about that is I have to redo the holes now. Oh, such a pain. Can't believe I cracked it. You know, it's hard to find the locations of the holes once you drill them, because you can't see it. You see what I mean? You guys are probably seeing that. Oh, that's what's going to happen. But and I got to try to get it out of this now. Yep, came right out. Oh man, what a pain. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up that hole. How would I do that? Oh, I know how I do it. If I take this and I put it underneath, I can basically drill the bottom of it and just do it in reverse. It's possible because they're both flat here, see what I mean? So maybe I'll do that and then figure out where everything is, because that's the back, that's the back. So I really need to do the front and get that set and then re-drill it. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so I don't need this piece here. Man, I love showing you guys mistakes though, you know, because it's not perfect. It's, you know, I don't really want to edit it so that everything's perfect. We all make mistakes, right? So I'm just going to line it up. Hopefully it'll hit the bottom there. Kind of marked off where it is. And then the other one can go right there. Hopefully it'll reach, right? Yeah. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Be easy. All right, that shows me where it is. Just gonna undo this one. And now I can just drill straight down. It's actually a little off on the top, but so is the other one, so it's not a big deal. It makes me actually think that's how they do it. They actually do it from the bottom up, but I don't know. And make some. All right, good. All right, so that's good. Looks pretty centered. Now I'm just gonna take this. All right, and all right, I'm gonna hand tighten it now so it doesn't go too much. And I won't split the wood like I did before. Okay, that's good. Nice and solid. Stops it like it should, so it doesn't go all the way down and bend. Because that was the problem with this arcade before. This was missing completely. And when people stepped on it, it ended up bending it all the way down, as you see in my previous videos. So this will prevent that, and it's a nice solid, it stops really good. So I'm not positive if this is gonna hit, if it's not going down all the way, but if that's the case, I could always adjust the pinchometer inside. The pod inside will basically, you could set it to like, you know, it gives it more, I guess, adjustments over here. So I'll figure that out. But for now, I think it's great. Let me just tighten this up a little bit. I have to get the other screw. And then, but for now, it works. That's all I care about. So, all right, guys, that about does it for this part. We're good. We put the locks in, so we're going to kind of leave this one alone. We're going to get back to the other one. So I'm going to set stuff up on the desk now. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to remove that little green piece for the button, because the one on that other Outrun is broken, and I have a spare button that I can take parts from. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Okay, so I wanted to quickly go through this one here. You can see this one lights up and flashes. This is on my existing machine, and it has all the external stuff that you see here. Now on the other machine, when you press credit, it flashes and everything, so everything's working, but it's just missing the top cover, which I guess cracked off. And my buddy and I were trying to figure out how the heck does that happen. I'm guessing somebody punched the machine, maybe they had a ring on or something and it cracked it. But I got the machine like that. So I've been looking around, and on eBay, they're like $25 each, but they're yellow. They're not, the one that I saw was yellow. I don't even know if it's on there anymore. Can't really find the green ones. So luckily I had a viewer that sent me one. Let me see if I can grab it here. Let me just grab my bench. Okay, so you can see this one here, like, I basically had an extra one. So his had like cracked, he replaced his because it had cracked edge here. But what we can do is we can just kind of surgically remove it and try to get it. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so I got this one right here. And I should be able to, looks like, I'm not sure if that's supposed to come out or not, or if it's over here, because there's like a little slot here. So maybe I can just pry that off. There we go. So that just popped off. So you kind of, there's two little slots on the side. I'm going to zoom in some more to kind of show you guys what I mean. And I'll focus on that. focus a little better. There we go. So I was able to just kind of push my screwdriver in and kind of get it to pop out. And now I'm just going to get the other ones were just guides, I guess. So I'm not sure if I can, at this angle, oh, the whole thing kind of comes out. That's good. Okay, so now I'm going to do it on the other side. Again, I don't really care much for the button, I just want that plastic piece. So I'm going to do it again on the other side, and it came right out. Awesome. So yeah, so this does work. It is a spare, I guess. I'm going to keep it just in case. I'm pretty sure this lights up as well. I think it does. I'm not sure. These things last forever. But I'm going to keep it. If one of my bulbs goes out, I can just grab this one. But still, this is really what we want. So let me grab some Simple Green and a paper towel. Okay, so I grabbed a little piece here. And I'm just going to kind of just put these away. I don't need it anymore. And this thing is pretty dirty. I mean, it's never been opened, what, 30 years? Let's see here. It's kind of slipping out of my fingers as I try to clean it. There we go, now it's coming out. I'm sure if I got a brush to it, it would come right out. But I don't think we need it. Okay, that looks good. Get on the inside here. And that's it. So, I'm just gonna pop it in the machine and I'll set it up and we'll do it right now. Okay guys, so I'm actually zoomed in on my machine. So I kind of looked, there's actually 4 different things you can put things into. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the one you really want to go for, there's like this little thing here, that's such how you can tell. I already looked on my other one. But the ones that have the actual clips, if you look here, I have this right here. So I have it this way. So if you look where it goes into, on the side here, that's where it came from, is on that side right there. So this upper one is not going to have a clip, and that lower one here is not going to have a clip. But these two are where the clips are going to go. That's how you know where to put it in. So when you actually look at this, what I mean is, let's see if I can focus again. There. So these clips are those things right there. So those are present only on every other one. You see that? So I want to be able to put those in that and there. So I'm going to just put it right over it. And I'm going to push it right in. 1, 2. And there you go. It's fixed. So now let's see how it looks when I put a credit. And there we go. It's fixed, guys. Let me turn off the light so you guys can see a little better. Doesn't that look awesome? It's really cool. So it's working. I just replaced it. And I've been meaning to do that for a long time. I had the button the whole time. It's super easy to do. But yeah. Okay, cool. So now all we have to do now is upgrade this at a later date to the enhanced ROM set. But right now it's looking pretty good. It has that in there. I'm gonna put the coin door locks in. I'll do that off camera. Just put, you know, just reverse what I did on the other ones. And then the bottom is nice and clean. Awesome. Okay guys, so I guess that about does it for this video. We're cutting it short here because I really want to work on some other stuff. I got to figure out some more Outrun things to do because I really want to get the Bondo done on the bottom. I have a really good video that I want to do on that where we're experimenting and not using Bondo. We're using this other stuff. So we'll see how it works. So don't forget to subscribe. Again, you can see it right down here. Hit the like button as well. Hit the bell icon. You can see it on the side. That will notify you when I do live videos. And in addition, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, you can just go on here. I'm at Del's Arcade. That's at DELS Arcade. And in addition, you can also go on Instagram if you're a fan of that. And I'm on there as well where I post pictures. I usually post to both. And that's at Del's Arcade as well. So you can see it down here. And of course, I'm still doing the t-shirt campaign, which is coming soon. So you can see it here how it looks, and that will fund the channel to probably get another camera that's really high end, that I can really do some great artistic stuff with and give you some more content that's awesome. So, okay guys, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.